With Eric Kane, Brett Hubbs, VolQuest.com, continuing our positional previews on the offensive side of the ball and the ever-popular tight end position. We always get that phone call on talk radio, right? When are they going to throw it to the tight end more? Alex Golesh, the offensive coordinator, loves to throw it to the tight end. He has it at Iowa State. They did so a good bit at Central Florida. So, Eric, the question is, does Tennessee have anybody on their roster that can catch the ball? How much will they use the tight end in this offense?
Well, I think Alex Golesh, as he told us in spring during the press availabilities, as much as those guys can handle, as many of those guys that can play, what they do best is what Tennessee's going to expect out of its tight end position. Right now, it's kind of up in the air. We don't really know. But what we do know, Brent, and I think we saw it evident from Alex Golesh's past stops in Orlando and even before that and in the spring game, the tight end will be a factor in the red zone. Down near the goal line, Tennessee had 2 touchdowns right there on the goal line in the spring game. If you look at UCF's tight end's production when Alex Golesh came, majority of it came in the red zone. So I think we can expect that. But look at a guy like Princeton Fan, who has fallen behind the radar so much of his career. His body, he has transformed, put on some muscle. He looks really lean. And I think he could be a player. Kind of came out of his shell a little bit at the end of last year. I think he'll lead that group. And, of course, Austin Pope's been here for a while, originally entered the transfer portal. He wanted to be more of a receiving option. He'll have every opportunity if his back can hold up in this offense.
Yep, then you've got an athletic body in Jacob Warren. Can he be physical enough? And then you've got some new bodies coming in. We all saw what Miles Campbell could do in the spring. I think we all look at him and say, hey, that guy's got a chance to be really good. Trinity Bell's coming in. He's coming off an ACL. What does that look like? Julian Nixon's a big receiver who's never played at tight end. Here's the thing about the tight end question that I have. I get what Alex Golesh is saying, as much as they can handle. If you're playing fast, you can't substitute them based on situation. So it's which guy who can handle playing inline, playing flexed out, block, receive, because they don't want to rotate that guy out when they're going fast because it gives the defense a chance to substitute. So I think the question is going to be, out of that group, what couple of guys can become complete tight ends? Because you look at them and they all kind of are specialty in some ways, right? So who becomes the complete guy?
And I think that will be Princeton Fan right now. He is, in terms of he can do a little bit of everything. He's played just about every position. That's here. So he has a little bit of experience. He can block, he can split out, he can be down inside. Austin Pope's primarily been a blocking tight end. Says that he can be a receiving tight end. It's what he did in high school here, but we haven't seen that in terms of for a long period of time. So I think it starts with Princeton Fans kind of leading that group. Miles Campbell's a guy that I think as you continue to get him reps, continue to get him some practice time going up against SEC quality opponents. He had such soft hands in spring. He ran very good routes. I think on the line of scrimmage, walking down a 5 technique will be the struggle for him early on. So I think it starts with Princeton Fan, and then we'll have to see who comes in behind him.
Yep, I think, and who comes in behind him is the guy who can play in any given down and distance, any situation, because we know Alex Golesh and Josh Heupel don't want to take anybody off the field because that slows down what they do, and that takes away a big advantage of what they do. A lot of bodies, some guys with some experience, some different type bodies. Who becomes a complete tight end? Big question mark in this spring. Probably does start with Princeton Fan. I agree with this guy right here. For Eric Kane, I'm Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com.